Good
Dr.
evening,
Neha.
team seniors, respected faculty, dear colleagues, and fellow lovers of propofol and peace. Welcome to our online celebration of World Anesthesia Day 2025. I, Dr. Neha Sinha, and it's my privilege to moderate this evening, and I promise to keep things smoother and faster than our best spinal attempt. Today, we commemorate a turning point in the history of medicine. It was the day surgery finally became less of a scream and more of a science. Anesthesia, yes, has come a long way since then. From the days of ether and chloroform to ultrasound guided blocks, closed loop systems, and now artificial intelligence trying to match our clinical sixth sense. This year's theme, Anesthesiology in Health Emergencies, we spotlight a powerful and a timely theme. Tonight, this evening, we are front and center to celebrate our specialty, honor our seniors, and share knowledge, and yes, to have that little bit of well deserved fun. Let's begin this evening of learning, laughter, and lightness. Good evening, everybody. So before we move on with the program, I would like to invite Dr. Tej K. Kaul, sir. Good evening, sir, for your words.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special occasion of World Anesthesia Day celebrations under the auspices of Research Society of Anesthesiology and under the guidance of our beloved President Dr. Naveen Malhotra and the Secretary Dr. Vishal Singla. This day is remembered throughout the world, and this day is primarily meant for celebrations, for enjoyment, and for feeling proud to be an anesthesiologist. Every year we recollect the history of anesthesiology on this particular day to remind ourselves of our responsibilities for the care and welfare and the well-being of the patient, and also ensure that every anesthesiologist will try to bring laurels to the specialty of anesthesiology, perform research, and make every patient knowledgeable, rather, every citizen, every human being knowledgeable about the role an anesthesiologist plays for the well being of the patient, not only in surgery, but in many other fields. You are already aware in the critical care, respiratory therapy units, emergencies, pain units, cancer cure, and innumerable other fields. And we have to make people aware about it. And it is the responsibility of the various professional societies as well as each and every one of us. I am happy that the day is celebrated throughout the country, rather throughout the world, and I welcome Dr. Naveen Malhotra after having been to US to deliver a lecture in the American Society of Anesthesiology, a great pride for all of us as Indians and particularly all of us as members of the Research Society of Anesthesiology. My best wishes to each and every individual, every life member of Research Society of Anesthesiology, and to every person who is involved in the care of the patient well-being. Thank you very much. Again, a happy World Anesthesia Day to each and everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for being the guiding light for the RSACP. Thank you so much, sir. Now, it's my immense pleasure to now welcome our very own President, Dr. Naveen Malhotra, sir, who's actually making it the World Anesthesia Day by addressing us from the other side of the world. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. Uh, Dear members of Research Society of Anesthesiology family, warm greetings to all of you on World Anesthesia Day. Thank you, Dr. Kaul, for those profound words and blessings. Yes, it was an honor to be introduced as President of Research Society of Anesthesiology during the introduction before delivering the talk. And I convey greetings to all of you. I personally feel, some of you may disagree, but I personally feel every day is anesthesia day.
Thank you all for the overwhelming. We hereby step all registration henceforth.
And though we celebrate 16th October to commemorate the first public demonstration of anesthesia, but I personally feel day in and day out, all of us throughout the country, throughout the world, are serving the humanity and the mankind by administering safe anesthesia, providing critical care, pain medicine, pediatric, cardiac, neuro, obs anesthesia to all the patients. So, in addition to celebrating amongst ourselves, we should also ensure that we convey to the public day in and day out what we are doing. And my mantra for that is post-operative visits. Until unless you go and meet the patient for post-operatively and make them pain-free, once you do that, you will be remembered in the memories of the patient forever. So my message for today is, if you want to be known, if you want to be acknowledged by the patients and by the society, please do visit the patient post-operatively. Feel proud of being an anesthesiologist, of saving the lives, and work with full honesty, sincerity, and work very hard so that we can serve the society and serve the nation. I once again congratulate all of you on this World Anesthesia Day 2025. And anesthesiologists in health emergencies, one of them is management of pain during health emergencies. So please do not forget that thing. We are just at times more preoccupied with saving lives and pay less attention to pain. So as a pain physician also, I request you to ensure that we provide adequate pain relief to the patients who are coming in the emergencies. I thank Dr. Vishal Singla, Dr. Neha, and the team for organizing today's celebrations and welcome all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that address. I hope we all are going to be very energized by the dynamic words and the treatment that you give all of us. So I now welcome Dr. Anju Grewal, ma'am, the President-elect of RSACP National, for a words on World Anesthesia Day. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha, and a very good evening to all of you, and very good morning to Dr. Naveen Malhotra. Thank you for addressing us and infusing all that energy to keep on serving humanity with a great work into anesthesia. And as you rightly pointed out, every day is that of anesthesia. And on this day, I would like to exhort all of us to step out of our operating rooms to be seen as leaders across the hospital as well as across the nation as we prepare to lead our country for any kind of preparedness, whether it is any natural disasters or pandemics or any kind of events. And as we very rightly said, to be known and to be remembered, we really need to incorporate all the principles of empathy and compassion into our lives and to our work at each step, including, of course, we are the biggest pain specialists, and that is what brings the patient to the hospital anyway. So, a very happy World Anesthesia Day to all of you. And we hope, as Research Society, we'll be able to collate our data and show to the world that we do have value as anesthesiologists to lead the country in all health related administrative issues. Thank you so much. And hand it back to you, Neha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those words. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Indrani Hemant Kumar, ma'am, to address on the World Anesthesia Day to the RSACP family. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Neha. Respected stage call, sir, Dr. Naveen Malhotra, Vishal Singla, Anju Garewal. It's today being the World Anesthesia Day. It's actually a tribute to the strongest pillars of healthcare. We anesthesiologists are no more unseen pillars. We are the strongest pillars of healthcare. And evolution of anesthesia has been a transformational journey with technological and pharmacological advances, and it is a start of a digitalized and a personalized era. So we have traveled from rudimentary anesthesia to personalized precision anesthesia, and we have made remarkable progress transforming patient cares and outcomes. So I wish all of you a very happy World Anesthesia Day, and we will continue to be guardians and see that every patient wakes up safely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to invite our Secretary RSCCP National, Dr. Vishal Singla, sir, to please.
Good evening, everyone, and very happy World Anesthesia Day to all. Anesthesiologists, as we all know, are the guardians of operating room and beyond the operating room as well. Always there, watching every heartbeat, every breath, making sure that everything goes smoothly. And on this Anesthesia Day, I would like to thanks all the anesthesiologists and anesthesia staff for their dedication, care, and quite contribution to saving lives every single. Once again, a very happy World Anesthesia.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Swati Chabra, ma'am, to address us on the World Anesthesia Day.
Thank you so much, Neha. Good evening, respected seniors and dear friends. I convey my heartfelt wishes on the World Anesthesia Day to everyone. This is a day we look forward to throughout the year to celebrate. As sir told that for us, every day is a anesthesia day, but we look forward to this day to celebrate. And indeed, this webinar has uh, a lineup of interesting presentations also. So all of us look forward to that too. And I hope that our specialty becomes more visible and is acknowledged in a more better way than it how it is figuring out in the so many roles it has undertaken recently. The new roles are being added, so I really look forward how our fraternity takes on after so many years since 1846. So with that, I wish everyone once again a happy World Anesthesia Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, esteemed seniors, the RSCCP family, for making anesthesia look this cool to all our juniors. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, without any further delay, I would like to begin our program for tonight. So, to begin this evening's program, we have someone who wears the historian's hat with the heart of the modernist, Dr. Neha Kumar. She'll take us from the foggy days of ether to clear algorithms of AI, a journey through the evolution of anesthesia that reminds us how far we've come and how awake we are keeping up with it. Over to you, Dr. Neha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll just share my screen. A very good evening to all the respected faculty members. I'm Dr. Neha from GSVA Medical College, Associate Professor. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Naveen Malhotra sir and Dr. Vishal Singla sir for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this celebration. Thank you so much, sir. I'll be walking through the history and evolution of anesthesia. So why is it 16th October? So basically, it marks the first successful use of ether anesthesia in 1846. William T.G. Morton, he used ether in a patient for excision of tumor under jaw in Massachusetts Hospital, Boston. And he proved that basically surgery can be done without pain. So that was the marking of World Anesthesia Day, which is also called as Ether Day, and that honors all the anesthesiologists and promotes safe and accessible anesthesia worldwide. So this is we can see the previous era, the past era, where we can see that what was done to a patient before the discovery of any anesthetic. So they are just holding the patient tight and they are cutting their leg with the saw. Also they used to use a big stones to hit on their head directly, which is definitely ethically not acceptable. So over the period of time, the foundations of anesthesia was laid before 1846, and the establishment of anesthesia was done from 1846 to 1900, followed by various developments in 20th and 21st century. In 1846, Oliver Wendell Holmes coined the term anesthesia, which means without any sensation. So there were various methods previously, drug methods and various other non-drug methods also, like alcohol, opium, hyoscine, cannabis, even cold, carotid compression, nerve compression, which was used in the previous eras. This is the sleeping sponge, where you can see the juices of certain herbs were used to put on the sponge, and that was kept under the nose of the patient. And the another method is refrigeration method, in which the injured limb was directly put into the ice. So we can see that the injured lung, the incision, wherever is the incision, that is directly put into the ice. And then next came the era of ether, where in 1540 it was synthesized and it was used by William T.J. Morton in 1846, as I said. The next came chloroform anesthesia by James Young Simpson in 1847. Actually, he was not satisfied with ether. That's why he developed this chloroform anesthesia. And John Snow was the first anesthesiologist to use ether and chloroform as surgical anesthetics. He used certain apparatus for safe administration of ether anesthesia. Also, he designed a mask to administer chloroform anesthesia. Later, clover bag was developed to administer chloroform in known concentrations. Later, vaporizers like copper kettle were introduced in 1952. And then came the nitrous in 1776 by Priestley, which was actually used for painless surgery by Humphrey Davy. Next came barbiturates were introduced in 1903, followed by cyclopropane, followed by thiopentone, and then the introduction of halothane. Halothane was followed by introduction of various other fluorinated inhalational anesthetics up till sevoflurane in 1994. Next came the 20th century development with advances in intubation and airway. So endotracheal intubation, which was introduced in 1919, was followed by blind nasal intubation, introduction of blind nasal intubation, followed by PVC tube introduction, and then classification of breathing circuit. Bain circuit was introduced in 1972, followed by LMA by Archie Brain in 1980. Also, there was evolution of anesthetic equipments like rotameter, followed by Boyle's machine in 1917, followed by artificial respiration, and followed by Oxford vaporizer. Similarly, for monitoring, there was evolution from oxygen analyzer up to nerve stimulator, followed by blood gas monitoring. And then in 1960, ECG and capnography took over with the CVP and arterial monitoring. So we can see the evolution from Boyle's machine, and then slowly circle absorption system was introduced in 1930, followed by pin index safety system in 1952, and introduction of Bodoc seal in 1958. The first intermittent positive pressure device, the Draeger pulmotor, was developed in 1907, and the Mallampati grading was evolved in 1941. In 1905, blood pressure measurement by Korotkov was done using a stethoscope. There were certain other monitoring methods, like the oscillometric principle came into for blood pressure measurement, that came into existence in 1936. ECG came into existence in 1903, and we can see that there is a pulse oximeter called Nelcor N100, which was developed in 1983. 1991, the capnography was introduced for confirmation of tracheal tubes, followed by certain drugs like Curare, which came in 1942, followed by saxamethonium, halothane, fentanyl, propofol, vecuronium, and 1990 when sevoflurane came up. Also, in advancement of local anesthetic, cocaine was the first local anesthetic used. It was used basically for ophthal surgeries, for as eye drops or for toothaches, and then followed by procaine, followed by lignocaine, bupivacaine, and in 1996 came ropivacaine. Next came the era of regional anesthesia, which was developed in 19th century, and the spinal anesthesia by August Bayer in 1898. The epidural was invented in 1921, and August Bayer also introduced IVRA in 1908. In 1950, we can see that the post-anesthesia care unit came into existence with intensive care units. It was because of the Korean War, basically, where they developed this ICU for more efficient care of the sick and wounded. And coming to the pain management, in 1967, patient-controlled analgesia was developed, and the multimodal analgesia and epidural analgesia came into existence from 1990. So as we can see that the ISA was also founded in 1947, and this was the first lady anesthesiologist, this was the first lady anesthesiologist, Rupa Bai Furdungi. And then now coming to the anesthesia in 21st century, which is full of machines, workstations. As we can see, the developed OTs with equipped monitors. And we can see that we have now the future definitely lies in robots, which were developed to establish peripheral and central venous access to perform endotracheal intubations and also to assist the administration of even regional anesthesia. Teleanesthesia is another future of ours, where there is possibility of distant preoperative assessment, as well as we can even control the drug delivery, like automated anesthesia drug delivery systems can be controlled to maintain a target depth of anesthesia. And we can even a trained person can help others to perform any anesthetic tasks. Also, there are new future possibilities like smartphone anesthesia practice, teleanesthesia, as I told, in any part of the world, artificial intelligence, robotic anesthesia, nanomedicine and anesthesia, genetically targeted medicine, auto anesthesia or auto TIVA. Smartphone we can use because it can help us in again doing a PAC from distance, and also it can reduce the morbidity and mortality because it helps us to meticulously and precisely plan any of our advancements, and certain anesthesia apps are available for this purpose. And coming to the AI, will definitely perform repetitive tasks of anesthesiologist, will help in clinical anesthesia practice, will predict complications during perioperative period, will guide us through any virtual administration tool, that is mock drill, in our patients with all parameters and safe outcome. So as we can see, the development of various robots, there are various intubation systems available. As we can see, even it can help. This was the Kepler intubation system. The world's first robotic intubation was performed in the Montreal General Hospital. They can even help us with regional anesthesia. And this is a robotic anesthesia machine for delivery of propofol for minimal to moderate sedation in routine colonoscopy procedures. And there are certain newer drugs also present today, from remimazolam, sugamadex, as we all know, and xenon. So this is the machine which is for the future, totally smart phone controlled AI system machine. So as we can see this again. So this is the future. Maybe just switching on and switching off of button will help us in anesthesia. But remember, auto anesthesia or all these future developments will not replace an anesthesiologist, but will make our job safer and streamlined and more efficient. So you must believe that more you know about the past and the present, the better you are prepared for the future. No patient should be harmed by anesthesia at any cost. So this is the complete summarization from nitrous oxide to development of all the drugs and equipments up till the smartphone anesthesia and AI controlled anesthesia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha, for taking us through time. That was a wonderful, insightful presentation. So before I begin to the next section, I would like to invite Dr. Kapil Singhal sir, our honorary RGC member of RSACP National, for his words and about this presentation. Do we have you, Dr. Kapil Singhal sir? I think sir has logged out or something. So, okay, so now moving on, we have our quiz segment of the day, and this is the session probably will take most of us to our medical school flashbacks of our MBBS time. So, but don't worry, it's without marks and it's going to be fun. So, I now invite Dr. Anju Grewal ma'am and my very teacher from PGI Rohtak initially, Dr. Jyoti Sharma ma'am, to host this anesthesia quiz. So whether you're a seasoned professor or a junior resident, this quiz has something for everyone. So keep your thinking caps on and yes, Google off. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It is nothing to worry with. It's just a fun-filled quiz. Not even a quiz. Somewhere we have questions, somewhere we don't. So it will take you through your journey with Bollywood and anesthesia. I hand over the mic to Dr. Jyoti.
Good evening, everyone.
Who has drafted the quiz? Dr. Anju, who has drafted the quiz?
Sir, Dr. Jyoti and my students. I have no contribution to it.
Good evening,
But
sir. Good evening, everyone.
because it is fascinating. It is fascinating to hear Bollywood anesthesia. So that I want to know that who was.
Sir, Bollywood
All
and
the
Indian cinema,
all the
anesthesia
best, all the best, all the
techniques,
best,
and
all the best.
Dr. Neha, it has nothing to do with the MBBS also. It is just Bollywood and Indian cinema. So, two of my residents have helped me to compile Dr. Chetan and Dr. Divya. So, I hand over the mic to Dr. Chetan for the presentation.
Divya is along with her.
And Dr. Divya is also there.
Chetan, you can go ahead. Divya?
Good evening, everyone. So, happy World Anesthesia Day from the Department of Anesthesiology, AIMS Bathinda. So, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So, we have organized a small quiz, funny quiz. Hope you enjoy. And the rules are there are no rules. So, everybody is free to answer. You can put in your chat box. So, teapot used for making tea for anesthesia people. So the first question is, what does big tent after a heavy Sunday lunch? Option A, bispectoral index. Option B, Bature-induced sedation. Option C, bloating in session. Or option D, body in shutdown.
I'll go with body in shutdown.
Bature for me.
Bature-induced sedation.
Bature-induced sedation.
For all Punjabis especially, it's Bature.
Yeah. For Punjab, it's Bature-induced sedation. So moving to the next question. According to Bollywood medicine, what's the most effective resuscitation method? Before you answering, I would bring your focus to the special defib pads, DFI pads used in this serial. You can just see. So the option is chest compression and DIY.
I will go with D.
Pedals.
D.
Dramatic background music.
Yes.
D. Yes.
So the next question. Before answering, just see the special way of delivering.
Oh my God.
Yeah, उसमें connected to an IV line.
दही वहाँ
What the vendors Indian cereal makers do. The best caption for this image is when to
Can you
dilate
tell me
the
ये कौन से मूवी से लिया है आपने?
बस कुछ मेडिकल लगना चाहिए
बस कुछ
One.
medical लगना
ऑप्शन
चाहिए।
वन बस कुछ मेडिकल लगना चाहिए
कुछ क्रिटिकल लगना चाहिए was should have been the option. बस कुछ क्रिटिकल लगना चाहिए.
Movies and company names cannot be disclosed as there are copyright issues for that.
This medical device is to inject something, or it is to suck out something.
Sir, can you repeat?
मैं कह रहा हूँ ये जो मेडिकल डिवाइस लगाया हुआ है ये इंजेक्ट करने के लिए है या सक आउट करने के लिए है?
This is a special device to deliver humidified oxygen.
Patented. This is patented.
Patented.
With fluid attached for humidification.
Choice one, A, option A.
Actually, one of the surgery consultants asked me inside OT, what's the actual full form of JR and SR?
जागते रहो सोते रहो.
जागते रहो सोते रहो.
So, okay, we can, or it's both of the above. It can be both of the above.
Can be.
Depends on what side of JRSR you are.
So not for this quiz, it is A.
That's
For
a good
today's
one.
evening, it is A. Otherwise, it is B.
So, the next. So, what's wrong with this picture?
The X-ray is upside down.
It's modern art.
Oh, this will be correct.
X-ray is ulta.
Multa.
Definitely the right answer. So going back to Bollywood classics, this is just the starting scene from the movie Amar Akbar and Anthony. You can see the innovative method of
ये epic
Yeah,
है.
yeah.
This is unbeatable actually.
three brothers donated blood to their mother. So we don't have to wait for the blood bank. The blood cells are confused in which direction to flow. Second, the mother who should be crying the most. The mother out of happiness.
The blood bank
The
officer.
anesthesiologist think gravity defined, physics denied, and sterility sacrificed. Me and my doctor lied to me. We can only use one blood bag at a time. About the blood bank officer because the documentation is impossible.
Fatima, I'm saying मिले blood मेरा हमारा.
Yes.
सबसे अच्छा है मिले blood तुम्हारा हमारा.
So this is from our southern brothers.
Oh God.
ఆ నీళ్ళు తాడు ఇటువంటి
Look at the size of the needle, boss.
Oh my God.
సంపు
No intimation.
యు ఆర్ ఎ జీనియస్
ఎవరు సార్ ఈ సంపు?
So
The
this is a
quiz
multiple choice
masters
correct
are very
answer.
unfair. Hello, excuse me.
Yes,
The
sir.
quiz masters are very unfair. Sometimes the options are 3 and sometimes the options are 7.
As from the start, I said the rules are there are no
kind
rules.
attention of the quiz
Actually,
masters,
all
please.
options for all questions are correct.
Okay,
And
okay,
Swati's special comments are all taken in.
So the rules are there are no rules.
It's too good, ma'am. I am laughing badly. I have to shut down my video.
So the heart is the size of heart is bigger than our head. A plastic weapon can make you bleed from front when hit from behind. Gravity doesn't exist, as with every Indian movie. Heart is hard, it can break glasses. Heart occupies most of our body, and there is nothing such as elementary nerve. Heart is a disco ball, and surgery is done with teeth. So I think each option is correct. We must go with all of the above.
We should have all of the above.
Yeah.
जॉब छोड़ दूं why
हम आपके पति को बचा नहीं पाए ओह शिट मैन इसके पति को बचा नहीं पाया डॉक्टर उस दुनिया में नहीं रही।
अब है कौन? होते कौन है आप ये बोलने वाले कि आप मेरे पति को बचा नहीं पाए?
आप होते कौन है आप ये बोलने वाले कि मेरे पति को बचा नहीं पाए? डॉक्टर है वो जिसने उसका ऑपरेशन करा है।
अब सिर्फ एक डॉक्टर है, भगवान तो नहीं है ना। अब मैं अपने पति को बचा के लाऊंगी, उन्हें मौत के मुंह से निकाल कर मैं लाऊंगी। उनका ऑपरेशन अब मैं करूंगी। देख लीजिए जाके, आपका पेशेंट सांसें ले रहा है। कहा था ना मैंने आपसे, एक सुहागन की आस्था पर कभी शक मत करना। आज के बाद कभी किसी सुहागन से ये मत कहना कि आप उसके सुहाग को बचा नहीं पाए।
So in real life, what is most like to happen next?
The
The husband opens his
Option B.
MBBS
I-
MS.
I-
B. MCH. MD anesthesia.
MD, FRCA सब मिल जाएगा इसका।
So the answer goes to
पुराने
option
वाले
B.
पुराने वाले
Modern
उन
day
सबके
सती
वजह से
सावित्री
मिला
है।
देना।
New degree of God.
Definitely, new degree.
Modern day सती सावित्री.
Sir, A must be the correct answer
Yes, ma'am.
because husband must be upright.
The husband is clear. So after so many questions, this is just
we
a
have same
small video.
same kind of surgeries available in cesarean section as well. I mean, husbands can also do something of this kind.
Please, sir. In hospital, it must be available. So, after so many questions, just a small video for you. Both bail and anesthesia induction look simple until you try doing them yourself.
Excellent.
Going to the next. This is a very famous news. It was highlighted in newspapers. So you can see. बस करो, कंप्रेशन के बीच में 2 सांस तो लेने दे। All of you know that CPR awareness week is going on in our country, and we should definitely make more people aware so less incidents like this happen. So it is what was the most critical part of this resuscitation, the chair. It took the maximum chest compressions. The researchers enthusiasm, 100% publicity, 0% knowledge. The patient confused but alive. The medical community collectively screamed.
A.
Option A.
B.
B.
Option A and B both are the right answer. So, thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Hope everyone
Thank you so
enjoyed.
much, Chetan. And Divya. Thank you so much. Stop sharing. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the curry quiz that we had.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Chetan. Thank you, Dr. Divya. It was actually amazing and hilarious. Absolutely crazy World Anesthesia Day. You were the best JRs, I'm telling you.
Indeed, they are.
Amazing. It was indeed very nice. So, after I would now like to invite Dr. Raghunandan sir for his words on this presentation. I think. Dr. Raghunandan sir, are you here?
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
You want me to say something
Yes, sir.
about this quiz?
Yes, sir, and World Anesthesia Day.
Excellent quiz. On this auspicious WAD day, a special prize needs to be given to the organizers, to the persons who have conducted this quiz, anesthesia quiz. God bless you all. It was really very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. I, at my age, really enjoyed it. Bless the organizers.
Sir, I have a
Thank
question.
you.
What was the most hilarious thing you had
Yes,
seen in your OT during those times?
my hilarious thing what I have seen
Sir, any hilarious experience you had that you'd like to share with us?
when the era of, you see, I joined anesthesia in 1976 when majority of the people were not even born who are watching this program. Huh? So there were many jokes and it was the time of diethyl ether. There was a very senior faculty member. He would come to the hospital with dirty socks. And people would say that the surgeons would say that he anesthetizes the patient with his socks instead of the Schimmelbusch mask. So that is probably the hilarious thing which comes to my mind immediately. Thank you. Sorry for my not very happy and sweet statements, but just for a joke on a happy day.
Yes, sir.
Just a joke, not meant to hurt anybody. Not meant to hurt anybody at all.
Absolutely, sir. Just on the lighter note, thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, moving on, we have a trivia time right now. From quiz, the very awesome quiz, to quirky. So, we now have Dr. Parul Jindal who will treat us with some trivia, the kind of fun facts that will make you smile and maybe, do I know that? So, let's enjoy some knowledge minus the exams. Over to you, Parul, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha. Could you please allow me to share my screen?
Right, ma'am. Just a moment.
Please go ahead, ma'am. You have been made the co-host. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Just give me a second. So, are the slides visible? Can I take them on the full screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Neha. Thank you so much, Naveen sir and Vishal sir, for giving me this opportunity. A very happy World Anesthesia Day to all my friends and colleagues and seniors. I'll be taking you through the anesthesia through the ages, some surprising stories, some facts, and I'm laughing so hard from the quiz that I might giggle at times. Please excuse that. And thank you so much. I'll start with a small story. When I was going through the literature, there was a beautiful editorial in an ancient journal which I came across. I'll read it out to you. The case was an interesting one of a white swelling for which the thigh had to be amputated. The patient was a youth of about 15, pale, thin, calm, and firm. One professor felt the femoral artery, held the leg up for a few minutes to ensure the saving of the blood. The second, the technician applied the tourniquet. A little wine was given to the lad, and he was pale but resolute. His father supported his head. A second professor took a long glittering knife and felt for the bone, thrust in the knife carefully but rapidly. The boy screamed terribly. The knife came out filled with blood. The blood flowed in pint. The sight was sickening, the screams terrific, and the operator calm. So if you think this was happening in 1800, imagine what was happening in the before Christ era. In 2025 BCE, the Babylonians relieved the toothache with Hyoscyamus niger. In 1187, it has been mentioned in Homer's Odyssey that Greek goddess Hera used Mandora or Datura for pain relief. In 400 BCE, Assyrian Empire, they used to give carotid compression for eye surgery and circumcision. And in 64 BCE, Paracelsus de Sodrus said that all things are poisonous and nothing is without poison. Only the dose permits something which is not to be poisonous. What happened in ancient India? We all know about Sanjeevani, which is given to Lord Lakshman. And there is a mention in Bhoj Samhita about Raja Vikramaditya undergoing a craniotomy with Sanjeevani and he was reversed with he was induced with Sammohini and reversed with Sanjeevani. We all know the name of Sushruta, who was a plastic surgeon, and he performed craniotomies and deviated nasal septums by giving a mixture of poppy flower and Indian hemp. The oldest drug which is known to mankind is Papaver somniferum, which was renamed by Friedrich Sternum, a French physicist who named it after Morpheus, the god of dreams. The first writings of opium overdose appear around 1037 AD, when the Islamic physician Avicenna died of an accidental overdose. We all have heard about Spongia spomnifera. It is available in the Middle East literature as well as in the Japanese literature. And do you know that Sir Richard Burton, in his translation of Arabian Nights, has mentioned about Spongia somnifera. Sir Robert Liston, he was the fastest surgeon. He could perform an amputation in as early as 3 minutes. This is a picture where he was removing bladder stone from a patient who was being held down by many orderlies, and he escaped. He closed himself from the inner lavatory. Dr. Robert Liston, he brought the door down, took the patient, carried him to the operation theatre, and completed the surgery with the patient screaming. The first clinical anesthetist we all know was given in 1847, but way down in Japan, it was in 1804 that Japan Hanoka Shishu formulated his own general anesthetic, which was called as Susen-san, which was a mixture of alkaloids which is derived from 6 different herbs. The patient underwent a mastectomy. She survived the mastectomy but died 6 months later. The term biting the bullet actually has its origin in anesthesia. In the American Civil War, when some soldier suffered injury and the leg had to be amputated or any procedure had to be performed, he was given some wine and a bullet, which he had to bite the bullet, and then the surgery was performed. There was an English physician, Henry Hill Hickman, who performed cruel experiments on puppies to prove his theory that 5% carbon dioxide could cause suspended animation. He was publicly shamed, and one journal called his work surgical humbug. Do you know that there were parties which were using these recreational drugs like nitrous oxide or ether for fun? And Dr. Crawford Long, one of the known anesthetists, who is also credited with the discovery of ether, he kissed his future wife and future patient in this one party, and unfortunately, she did not feel anything. So we all know about the story of Horst Wells, but he had 3 interns, John Riggs, Hopkins, and Sir W.T.G. Morton. Sir W.T.G. Morton even went into practice with Horst Wells, but it failed miserably, and after that he met Sir Charles Jackson, and together they worked on lithion. Sir W.T.G. Morton, he did a lot of experiment on his goldfish, his bug, his dog, and on his technicians and assistants. And then he decided to give a live demonstration of ether on 16th October 1846. His surgeon was Sir J.C. Warren, and he was preparing. He was a bit late in coming to the operation theatre because he was giving fine tuning to his device. And when he arrived, Sir J.C. Warren sarcastically said to him, "Sir, your patient is ready." Sir W.T.G. Morton did not say anything. He induced the patient, and after that he said, "Sir, your patient is ready now." So this was a lot of media circus happened at that time. Immediately by the next evening, it was published in the newspapers, and it brought a lot of attention to W.T.G. Morton. But his mentor, who was Charles Jackson, he was not given any credit, and he decided to betray him. And then he searched for some other person who had done experiments, and he found that Dr. Crawford Long, who was living in rural Georgia, he had given 10 10 procedures he has performed with ether, but he had not published because he felt that the literature which he had was not sufficient. He had given anesthesia to one slave, in which the one toe was amputated with ether and one was amputated without ether. So you can say it was the first controlled trial. So they had a lot of conflicts, and for 22 hours they fought for the credit. Finally, by the United States of America, the credit was given to W.T.G. Morton, but all 3 of them had a very painful death. W.T.G. Morton died of brain congestion, while Crawford and Jackson, they both suffered a stroke. Sir Charles, chloroform, which was first administered by Sampson. He was a professor of midwifery in Edinburgh. He tried chloroform on himself and his friends George Heath and Matthew Duncan in 4th November 1847. But he had a lifelong opponent of the American obstetrician Charles Duncan Meigs, who did not encourage the use of chloroform for the pregnant patients. Simpson, he used both science and Bible to put his case forward. He gave the data of 800 maternity patients who had been given ether or not given ether, and he said that it does have a place in obstetric analgesia. He quoted Bible saying that Adam had his rib removed under the influence of a drug. So he said that what God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. And anyone then who knows that good he ought to do and doesn't do it, he sins. The first journal we all know was in 1891 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was the Dental and the Microscope Journal. And the first society which was formed was the London Society of Anaesthetists in England. If you see this coat of arms, you see John Snow and Joseph Clovis in the figures here. We all know about Karl Kohler and his experiments with cocaine. The Karl Kohler was so poor that he could not attend the Congress of German Ophthalmologists, and he gave his paper to one of his friends. And after that, more than 100 papers were published supporting the use of cocaine in Europe and North America. The first known attempt of IV therapy was in 1600, where Robert Boyle injected opium into a dog's vein using a sharp goose quill. While not a success, it's laid a foundation for IV developments. There was a very casual administration of a dangerous drug. The two medical students here who have been shown are Codman and Cushing Harvey, and you can see that they have maintained the anesthesia record. On top of this operation card, you have the pre-anesthetic checkup, then you have the intraoperative checkup where they were monitoring the pulse and the respiratory rate, and finally in the recovery room, they have given their post-operative notes. A couple, Ruth and Richard Gill, they used poison. They went to South America and they researched about curare. When Gill developed multiple sclerosis, he collected around 12 kgs of raw curare from Ecuador, and he delivered it to Squibb Pharmaceuticals for processing the drug. The H.A. Holaday, he devised a rabbit head drop assay. They standardized the dose of 0.1 ml of aqueous curare solution, and they gave it to the rabbit every 15 seconds, and there was a head drop of the rabbit. In 1942, Harold Griffith and Enid Johnson, they reported a successful use of curare during appendectomy. And later that year, they published a report of 25 patients. In India, from Jari Booty to the jet spray. In India, first ether demonstration was given in 22nd March 1847, and chloroform anesthesia was given in 12th January 1848. The chemist who supplied chloroform to Sir James Young Simpson later moved to Calcutta. In Hyderabad, there were two commissions which were formed, the first and the second chloroform commission. The first Boyle's machine came to the shores of Calcutta, and it was purchased at the paltry sum of rupees 645. In 1890, there were two first students who were called as chloroformists. In the Indian Medical Gazette, there was a job profile which came out for one paid anesthetist. Dr. Jyoti Nardan Mukherjee was given this post for a salary of 50 rupees per month. This was the first chloroform report which appeared. Now, there was a twilight sleep in the 20th century. This was popular. They mixed a mixture of morphine and scopolamine. It was not full anesthesia, but a state of amnesia. But the mothers were severely agitated, and this was called as twilight sleep for the mother. Sir Ralph Waters was the first person who introduced a whole department for anesthesia, and he gave university training to these people. His students were called as aqua alumni, and they further went into research. They had many departments established, and they also had many societies formed. If you see this tree, it is actually the leaves are the names of all the aqua alumni. The second lady, if you see in this picture, is Virginia Abgar, who was a student of Sir Ralph Walter. Virginia Abgar was the first woman who became a full professor of anesthesiology at Columbia University. She not only developed the Abgar score, but she also had immense contribution in obstetric anesthesia. A Renaissance woman, she was a passionate violinist, and in her 50s, she took flying lessons. Dr. Arthur E. Goodell is known for his dunk dog experiment. His dog was named as Airway. He intubated his dog with a new endotracheal cuff tube he had developed. He then lowered the dog into the water tank. The dog remained in the submerged duration as long as Gödel gave a lecture. After the conclusion of the lecture, the dog was removed from the tank, revived, and awakened to the applause of the audience. After demonstration, the dog reportedly shook off and left the OR. Dr. Arthur Gödel is also called as the motorist anesthetist because during the Second World War, he was communicating between 6 hospitals on his motorcycle. This picture is of Dr. Harold Randall Griffith. He was called affectionately Uncle Harold by his colleagues and juniors. He revolutionized the practice of anesthesia by demonstrating that curare could be safely used to produce muscle relaxant. He was professor at McGill's University and he had a degree in homeopathic medicine. He was a stretcher bearer in the Canadian Army and a founder president of WFSA. Dr. Robert Hinkson, he developed needle-free peace guns for immunization, and these are the guns which you will see as a hypo spray in Star Trek and many science fiction movies. Dr. John Silas Lundy, he developed the Travel Club in 1929 and the first post-operative recovery room. This picture here shows the history of the World Federation of Society of Anesthesiologists, which was the first congress which was held in 1955. These are the signature of all the members who were present during that conference. This is actually a picture of acupuncture, which is basically the steel sewing needles and which are equipped with the ivory needles. So with this, I finish my trivia class, and I would like to express my gratitude to W.T.G. Morton, before whom in all times surgery was agony, by whom pain in surgery was averted and annulled, and since whom science has control of pain. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking us on that journey. It was fascinating and sometimes hilariously odd as well. Thank you. But from what all you said, I was wondering that, even anesthetists at that point of time, they needed financial education. Most of them were poor and they were asking for money.
But there's one thing, because of the Travelers Club, they were
Excellent
traveling
presentation.
also.
Yes, ma'am. I like that idea. We can have a travelers RSACP.
We can also have a
as
Travelers Club.
well.
Dr. Parul,
Ji,
Dr.
sir.
Parul, an excellent presentation.
Thank you so much,
In a
sir.
way
Thank you, sir.
which needs to be preserved and spoken of at various fora so that the younger generation know about it. However, one thing I would like to add, whatever you have said.
Yes, sir.
You must, whenever you give a presentation like this, you must mention about the Research Society of Anesthesiology, how it was in various societies in the country, in the world, and when Research Society, because you are speaking as a member of the Research Society, so you must mention about the brief historical aspects of Research Society, and also,
yes, sir,
and also the journal. You
Yes,
have
sir.
mentioned the other journals. You have not mentioned anything about the Journal of Anesthesiology Clinical. However, a superb lecture. I have yet to hear anybody talking the way you have talked about the history of anesthesia. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was indeed excellent. So, moving on, now we have the mythological journey. Science and storytelling rarely meet, but when they do, it's absolutely magical. We are honored to welcome Dr. Devyani Desai, ma'am, who brings us the mythological journey, a unique perspective connecting ancient wisdom with modern medicine. It's a session that promises to touch both the intellect and imagination. Over to you, Devyani, ma'am.
A very good evening. A very happy World Anesthesia Day. Is my screen visible?
Yes, you are visible. Yes, you are visible, Dr. Devyani. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. So, I have prepared, like we have heard about the all recent history, the past histories and the recent modern anesthesia. So I want to take you to the journey of an anesthesiology according to the Bhagavad Gita perspective. Basically, we as an anesthesiology, if we interpret with the Bhagavad Gita perspective, it is a mythological and the spiritual odyssey, where the science and service blend with the ancient teaching to elevate both the patient care as well as the personal growth. The very famous sloka, that is the Karmani Vadhikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, we all know about this thing. And as an anesthesiology, we devoted our duty without any expectations, which mirrors the Krishna's teaching on the selfless karma. The Nidrayaha Srusti, we as an anesthesiologist, basically we become an instrument between we act as a nature's balance between the sleep as well as the awakeness. The Prana Sakti, basically pranayam, we all know about this thing, where we regulate the inhalation and the exhalation. And it controls the senses and the mind, and the sage which seeks the liberation. So if we depict in an anesthesiologist, basically it is we are the guardians of the brain. And we are always, if you see any anesthesiologist, usually they are calm, very vigilant. So we sustain prana through each and every operations, through or as well as we maintain the anesthesia depth according to the which is required in the operation theatre, as and when, and we can even change as and when we according to the operative. The amrutaha vishamcha. Every day is not similar. Some days are happy, some days may come with some of the complications. So basically, it is the safety whenever it only can emerge when the skills and the awareness are there and which can balance both the forces. The Santihi Sarvada is an anesthesiologist with the art of the calmness and the inner steadiness in the face of the crisis. In every procedure, the serenity is the anesthesiologist's shield and the strength. Being an anesthesiologist, if we compare ourselves to the other fraternity, usually we manage any of the crises in a better way. The Pandora Mitram means the crisis can come anytime. It's a Pandora box, always in unpredictable, maybe intense, but yes, every heartbeat of the composer brings the hope and restores the harmony. The equilibrium and the awareness always helps to redeem the same. The Aj means it is the Yamlokat Pratinir Vartanam. As an anesthesiologist, we manage the patient's wakefulness, the reversal part. So usually we are the gap between the darkness and the light. With the ethical karma, with any of the ethical actions, the decisions whichever we take, basically it doesn't always it affects the clinical outcome, and at the same time, with the deeper arc of the personal and the professional integrity, it gives us the wisdom to act in that particular karma. The leadership, by example, we have seen so many leaders of our ISA, and because of them, our ISA is achieving new and newer heights every day. So if we live with the principles and the values, basically we can impact any of the positive impact to the community, to the society. Gita's guidance to the anesthesiologist, it offers a pathway to peace amidst the pressure. The rethinking their work as the devotional service and finding solace in the contribution to the mankind, this can ultimately help in attainment of the fulfillment and the inner peace. The being an anesthesiologist, our work is definitely time consuming, and probably we might not find time with the life changing lifestyle, or we do want to have good, to add upon good exercise, or we want to change the lifestyle, it becomes difficult. But though with the moderation in the lifestyle, any recreational activities which can definitely help us to maintain the emotional equipoise, and at the same time it will always definitely help us in the better management of the stress and the fatigue. To gain the knowledge is a lifelong process. So always try to gain knowledge whenever possible, and try to have good mentors. Go on adding your knowledge, go on improving the skills, which definitely masters make us more and more improved in skills day by day whenever we require in a implementation of the newer techniques. Dharma Patah means it's a legacy. Legacy, it's basically, if we see Bhagavad Gita, it highlights the pursuit of knowledge in every time. Always try to have a dedication, the precision, and this only the legacy which flows from the ancient knowledge to the modern mastery. So basically, if we want to gain or increase, or we want to become a masters in any of the things, any of the newer techniques or a different techniques, go on having a good knowledge with the good mentors. Samatvam yogi uchyate means the anesthesiologist, we basically find the equanimity in our art, and we serve the life, the community with the devotion and the grace. It is basically the combination of the science and the spirituality which always make us to rise, to ascend as the selfless healer when we integrate these two things in our life in day-to-day practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking us through that extraordinary journey. It was not just the science of anesthesia, but the wisdom, the timeless wisdom of mythology that you blended into anesthesia practice. It was wonderful. And ma'am, also to remind us that yes, anesthesia is not just only science, but it's deeply rooted into human history, belief, and in our symbolisms. Thank you so much,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful, wonderful presentation. From this amazing mythological journey that we just witnessed, I'm now going to invite Dr. Rima Meena and team, Dr. Rima Meena ma'am and team for the anesthesia stand-up, the segment for the soul, that was the mythological journey, and this one's the stomach, for the stomach muscles. So anesthesiologists are known for being calm under pressure, and surprisingly sharp wit, Dr. Rima Meena ma'am, her team will share some stand-up comedy straight from the OT trenches. Over to you, Dr. Rima Meena ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. First of all, a very happy World Anesthesia Day to all. May our fraternity continues to grow and gets even more recognition by virtue of the good work that all of us are doing. And my best wishes to everyone. Now I would like to hand over the mic to one of my professor, Dr. Manish Khandelwal. He'll be presenting a stand-up comedy based on some surgeon anesthetist tussle that keeps on going in the OTs. And it means no, intention is not to downgrade any branch. It is just in a very sporty and healthy way. Over to you, Dr. Manish.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Good evening to everyone. Exactly, it is not stand-up comedy because no one is standing in that standing position. Everyone is sitting comfortably. Actually, I have made a poetry in a comedy form. How I traveled through anesthesia from my PG to the clinical specialty. So good evening to everyone. तो मेरी एक एनेस्थेटिस्ट बनने की जो जर्नी है उसको मैं हास्य कविता के माध्यम से आपके सामने प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूँ कि जब इंटर्न में हमारी पोस्टिंग ओटी में लगी तो एक अलग तरह का मंजर नजर आया। एचओडी एनेस्थीसिया के रूम में अनेकों सर्जन्स का जमावड़ा पाया। मानो एक राजा प्रजा की समस्याएं सुन रहा था। मानो एक एनेस्थीसिया रूपी जज, या मैं एनेस्थेटिस्ट को जज के रूप में और सर्जन को वकील के रूप में संबोधित कर रहा हूँ। मानो एक एनेस्थेटिस्ट रूपी जज सभी सर्जन्स की, सभी वकीलों की दलीलें सुन रहा हो। सभी वकील अपने केस को फिट करने के लिए अर्जी लगा रहे थे, लेकिन जज साहब भी बड़े स्ट्रिक्ट थे। वो केवल नियम से ही फैसला सुना रहे थे। कुछ वकील तो बड़े चालाक थे, वो उल्टे सीधे लॉजिक दे रहे थे और गलत इन्वेस्टिगेशन रिपोर्ट जज साहब के सामने प्रस्तुत कर रहे थे। लेकिन जज साहब के सामने किसी के न चली। उनके डिसीजन से मच रही थी सभी डिपार्टमेंट में खलबली। जज साहब का ऐसा रौब देख मुझे बड़ा अचंभा आया और उसी दिन निश्चित बनने का विचार मेरे मन में आया। अब आप देखिए, जब मैं ओटी के अंदर गया तो वहां अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट में क्या क्या सीन चल रहे थे। तो जनरल सर्जन 5 मिनट के केस में आधा घंटा लगाकर जिला रहा था। पेशेंट टाइट है, पेशेंट टाइट है कहकर और एनेस्थीसिया देने की गुहार लगा रहा था। लेकिन एनेस्थेटिस्ट भी उसे खुश करने के लिए प्लेसिबो टिका रहा था। और तो ओटी में तो क्रोध का वातावरण सा छा गया। आश्चर्य तो देखो, एक ऑर्थोपेडिशियन एनेस्थेटिस्ट को इसी समझा रहा था। वो इमरजेंसी ओटी में तब चारों तरफ बवाल छाया जब एक सर्जन लाइकोमा को इमरजेंसी बनाकर लाया। ईएनटी ओटी में कमांडो करते हुए सर्जन पसीने में खड़े थे और वहीं ठाठ से बैठे हुए एनेस्थेटिस्ट के जलवे बड़े थे। एक न्यूरो सर्जन अपना माथा पकड़कर बड़बड़ाकर बोला कि एक लफड़ा कभी समझ नहीं आता है कि पीएसी में ओटी नॉर्मल और ओटी में क्यों बढ़ जाता है। अल्टीमेटली भगवान ने की मेरी सुनवाई। मैंने पीजी में एनेस्थीसिया ही उठाई। लेकिन दिमाग के सारे पेच उस दिन हिल गए जब 24 आवर्स ड्यूटी कर करके हम हिल गए। ना कोई ऑफ, ना कोई जीएस, दिन रात काम से थे परेशान। एचओडी से छुट्टी मांगो तो वो हो जाता था हैरान। उम्र शादी की हमारी निकले जा रही थी, पर रिश्ता पसंद करने के लिए छुट्टी नहीं मिल पा रही थी। मेरे घर वाले पीजी के चक्कर में मेरी शादी नहीं कर रहे थे और यहाँ शादी के चाव में मुझसे पीजी नहीं हो पा रही थी। सबसे बड़ी गलती तब हुई जब मुझे मेरे डिपार्टमेंट में ही किसी से प्यार हो गया। ये खबर सुनकर एचओडी के सर पर गुस्सा सवार हो गया। हमारी शादी की जैसे ही खबर मिली, उसने एक अजीब सी बात कही कि साथ में कभी छुट्टी मिलती नहीं है, कभी एक एक करके शादी कराना और शादी करते ही ड्यूटी पर आ जाना। पीजी करते करते मुझे एक बात समझ में आई कि पूरी दुनिया कुर्सी के पीछे और सर्जन टेबल के पीछे भागते हैं। ओटी में हमें हेडक रहती थी कि मरीज सर्जरी के बीच में उठ ना जाए और ओटी के बाद में हेडक रहती थी कि मरीज किसी तरह जल्दी उठ जाए। लेकिन माफ करना सर्जन, कभी कभी हमें नाटक करना पड़ता था और लास्ट केस से बचने के लिए पहले वाले पेशेंट को देर तक उठाना पड़ता था। एक बार का एक वाक्य सुनाऊं। एक बार एक सर्जन ने हद कर दी। उनकी धर्मपत्नी का ऑपरेशन चल रहा था और वो ओटी के बाहर अजीब से ख्यालों में मचल रहा था। मुझसे बोला कि डॉक्टर साहब, बेहोश करने के इतने पैसे किस बात के लिए। मैंने कहा, भाई साहब, बेहोश तो मैंने फ्री में किया, ये तो वापस होश में लाने के लिए। ये सुन उसकी उसकी आंखों में एक अजीब सी चमक आ गई और एक शैतानी उसके दिमाग पर छा गई। बोला, अब मैं पैसे ना दूंगा, अब मैं पैसे ना दूंगा, मेरी बीवी को बेहोश ही रखना ताकि कुछ समय तो बंद रहे उसका यूं फालतू बकना। मैंने कहा, चल चल बावड़े, ऐसी कोई ड्रग नहीं बनी जो बीवी को शांत रख सके। ऐसी कोई ड्रग नहीं बनी जो बीवी को शांत रख सके, और ऐसा कोई एनेस्थेटिक नहीं जो तेरे ख्याली पुलावों को साकार कर सके। यार, पीजी करते करते एक बात समझ में आई कि जब भी किसी को कुछ नहीं समझ आता था वो सीधे एनेस्थेटिक को ही फोन मिलाता था। तो ये तो सब कॉमेडी की बात रही। मैंने एनेस्थेटिक की जो खूबियां हैं उसके ऊपर कुछ पंक्तियां लिखी है, तो वो मैं सुनाना चाहूंगा अगर इजाजत है। कि
इरशाद
निश्चेतना
इरशाद।
देने थैंक यू सर। निश्चेतना देने वाले चिकित्सक का ज्ञान एवं शक्तियां अपार है। निश्चेतना के बाद ही मिलता सर्जरी को आकार है। दर्द का निवारण करने में यह मुख्य भूमिका निभाता है। चिकित्सक वर्ग का है ये नायक जो निश्चेतक कहलाता है। हमें चैन की नींद सुलाकर वो हमको आराम देते हैं। भय और अविश्वास की चादर हटाकर हमारा ख्याल रखते हैं। हमारी धड़कनें और सांसों को नियंत्रण में रखना वह जादूगर कहलाता है। चिकित्सक वर्ग का है ये नायक जो निश्चेतक कहलाता है। इमरजेंसी हो या आईसीयू, इमरजेंसी हो या आईसीयू, इनके हुनर का कोई तोड़ नहीं। वेंटिलेटर के अद्भुत कार्य में इनका स्थानीय कोई और नहीं। सीपीआर की तकनीक से भी जो मौत को हरा पाता है, चिकित्सक वर्ग का है ये नायक जो निश्चेतक कहलाता है। अंतिम चार दो पंक्तियां कि मौन रहकर भी वो मरीज की अद्वितीय सेवा करता है। बिना किसी वाहवा के वो निष्काम भाव से अपना कार्य करता है। जीवन और मृत्यु की सीमा पर खेलता वह निडर कहलाता है। निश्चेतक वर्ग का है ये नायक जो निश्चेतक कहलाता है। थैंक यू सो मच सर।
क्या बात है। कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन सर। आई थिंक आप सारे सर्जन्स के डेफिनेटली फेवरेट होंगे। सारे आपको ही ढूंढते होंगे ओटी।
बहुत ही बढ़िया, बहुत
बहुत मजा आया सुन के सर।
बहुत बढ़िया सर, बहुत बढ़िया।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Dr. Neha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you for bringing us Dr. Manish for RSACP. Thank you so much, ma'am.
थैंक यू।
Thank you.
तो एनेस्थीसिया कुछ लोग कहते हैं इट्स अ साइंस, कुछ लोग कहते हैं इट्स आर्ट. सो मूविंग ऑन, let's have the mix of it. Tonight it's also going to be a song. So I'm going to invite Dr. Deepika Tiwari, ma'am. She's going to tell us the wheel of anesthesia in a lyrical journey, a lyrical exploration of our practice. Sit back, enjoy the music, and no sedation required here. Over to you, Dr. Deepika, ma'am.
Very good evening to all the esteemed faculty members and participants of today's webinar. I, Dr. Deepika Tiwari, extend my warm wishes to all of you on the occasion of World Anesthesia Day and would like to thank RSCP National for providing me this opportunity and making me a part of these celebrations. So, as a part of today's celebration, I would now like you to accompany me on a musical journey that will depict our routine scenario in the operation theatre with the help of Bollywood songs. So, let's go on. Is my screen visible?
No, ma'am.
Just a second.
Please share your screen, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Actually, when I'm sharing my this thing video, the slides, it is getting muted, I think. Just a second, I will try again. Is it now visible?
Yes, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, so I will start from the first slide. So the story starts with जब सर्जन पेशेंट को इन्फॉर्म करता है कि आपको ऑपरेशन करना पड़ेगा. पेशेंट इज इन शॉक, इज डिप्रेस्ड. तो आइए उसकी फीलिंग्स सुनते हैं. जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा सफर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं. जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा
सफर कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं, है ये कैसी डगर, चलते हैं सब मगर कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं.
But ultimately, patient realizes that there is no other option out. So he reaches the PAC clinic as directed by the surgeon. पेशेंट को देखते ही एनेस्थेटिस्ट का कुछ इस तरह से रिएक्शन होता है.
कौन आया कि निगाहों में चमक जाग उठी, दिल के सोए हुए तारों में खनक जाग उठी. कौन आया कि निगाहों में चमक जाग उठी, दिल के सोए हुए ख्वाबों में खनक जाग उठी. कौन आया.
The PAC is conducted very efficiently by the anesthetist, and he assures the patient by saying,
किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार में हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना. किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार में हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना. खामोश क्यों हो, जो भी कहना है कहो, दिल चाहे जितना प्यार उतना मांग लो हो, तुमको मिलेगा इतना प्यार मैं हूं ना. किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार में हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना.
after the PAC, the patient realizes that he is in the right hands, and anesthetist के लिए अपनी feelings कुछ इस तरह से कहता है.
तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया. तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया. तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया.
तो सर्जरी का दिन आ चुका है एंड द पेशेंट has arrived in the pre-operative area. He is given pre-medication there in the form of injection glycopyrrolate, midazolam and fentanyl. Patient is now a bit dizzy. तो एनेस्थेटिस्ट क्या गुनगुनाता है आइए सुनते हैं.
सर जो तेरा चकराए या दिल डूबा जाए, आजा प्यारे पास हमारे, काहे घबराए काहे घबराए। सर जो तेरा चकराए या दिल डूबा जाए, आजा प्यारे पास हमारे, काहे घबराए काहे घबराए। पेशेंट फाइनली ओटी में आता है, मॉनिटर्स अटैच करने के बाद इंडक्शन शुरू होता है और उससे जस्ट पहले पेशेंट की फीलिंग्स कुछ इस तरह से होती हैं। उनसे मिली नजर के मेरे होश उड़ गए, उनसे मिली नजर के मेरे होश उड़ गए। ऐसा हुआ असर, ऐसा हुआ असर, ऐसा हुआ असर के मेरे होश उड़ गए। उनसे मिली नजर के मेरे होश उड़ गए। अब तक चल रही स्मूथ कहानी में एक ट्विस्ट आता है और हमारे काबिल एनेस्थेटिस्ट एक अनएंटिसिपेटेड डिफिकल्ट इंट्यूबेशन में फंस जाते हैं। खैर, आफ्टर ऑल पैनिक एंड एड्रेनलिन रश, ही इज एबल टू इंट्यूबेट द पेशेंट। ही टेक्स अ साई ऑफ रिलीफ और उसके दिल से ये आवाज निकलती है, सांस में तेरी सांस मिली तो मुझे सांस आई, मुझे सांस आई, मुझे सांस आई। सांस में तेरी सांस मिली तो मुझे सांस आई, मुझे सांस आई, मुझे सांस आई। Thankfully, the intraoperative course was uneventful and patient was in nice deep plane of anesthesia. बट सर्जन भी कम एफिशिएंट नहीं थे। उन्होंने बहुत जल्दी केस फिनिश कर दिया और हमारा पेशेंट जो एनेस्थीसिया के मजे ले रहा था, अब उठने को तैयार ही नहीं था और बस यही गुनगुना रहा था। ऐ काश के हम होश में अब आने ना पाए, ऐ काश के हम होश में अब आने ना पाए। बस नगमे तेरे प्यार के गाते ही जाए, ऐ काश के हम होश में अब आने ना पाए, ऐ काश के हम होश में अब आने ना पाए। Luckily, Sugama Dex was available and patient was reversed. After waking up, he was a bit agitated and in discomfort. और उसका हाले दिल कुछ इस तरह से था। मुझे छोड़ दो मेरे हाल पे, मुझे छोड़ दो मेरे हाल पे, जिंदा हूँ यार काफी है, जिंदा हूँ यार काफी है। मुझे छोड़ दो मेरे हाल पे, मुझे छोड़ दो मेरे हाल पे, जिंदा हूँ यार काफी है, जिंदा हूँ यार काफी है।
Fentanyl patch was applied to the patient और कुछ देर बाद पेशेंट जब कंफर्टेबल हुआ तो ऐसा फील कर रहा था।
आज मैं ऊपर आसमां नीचे, आज मैं आगे जमाना है पीछे, आज मैं ऊपर आसमां नीचे, आज मैं आगे जमाना है पीछे। टेल मी ओ खुदा अब मैं क्या करूं, चलूं सीधे के उल्टी चलूं, आज मैं ऊपर आसमां नीचे, आज मैं आगे जमाना है पीछे, आज मैं ऊपर आसमां नीचे।
अब हमारी कहानी अपने एंड की ओर है। And at the time of discharge of the patient from the recovery room, this is what the anesthetist sings for the patient.
जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है, जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है। थोड़े आंसू है थोड़ी हंसी, आज गम है तो कल है खुशी, जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है, जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है।
और पेशेंट भी अपने एनेस्थेटिस्ट के लिए एक सॉन्ग डेडिकेट करके जाता है।
तेरा साथ है कितना प्यारा, तेरा साथ है कितना प्यारा, कम लगता है जीवन सारा, तेरे मिलन की लगन में हमें आना पड़ेगा, ओटी में दोबारा हमें आना पड़ेगा, ओटी में दोबारा।
So our story had a happy ending. I hope you all enjoyed the musical tour through the corridors of OT. I think there were some issues in the scrolling of the slides. So sorry for that.
हाँ, आपकी आवाज ने हमें रियलाइज ही नहीं करने दिया कि ऐसा कुछ इशू भी था। इट वाज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एंड
I got a message from you in between, so it was not possible to escape from the slideshow and then.
Wonderful. You just showed us like the perfect melody, how anesthesia is also the blend of right tune, right chord, the perfect instrument, the instrument, and at the end, the perfect performer, the anesthetist. So thank you for taking us through that journey. It was wonderful, ma'am. And you have a
Thank you
beautiful
so much.
voice.
Thank you so much.
So now from the humor that we have witnessed all through this journey, it's humor to a hard-hitting reality. Civic sense, social responsibility, mobile phones, and cognitive impairment. Our relationship with social media, our relationship with smartphones. So I now welcome Dr. Allah Prasanthi ma'am, who brings a timely talk on the civic sense in anesthesia, our relationship with mobiles, and how the cognition these things have impaired the cognition for good or for worse. Over to you, Allah Prasanthi ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Actually, I am not going to talk. My postgraduates, two of our postgraduates from Guntur Medical College, they will be talking on these two topics. First, I will introduce Dr. Gunti Rajendra, third year postgraduate. He will be presenting on mobile phone addiction and cognitive impairment, which we are all facing these days. Over to Rajendra. Come on.
Good evening, everyone. A very happy World Anesthesia Day to all. Myself, Dr. Rajendra from Guntur Medical College, third year postgraduate. I'm trying to share my screen.
Please share your screen. Press the screen button.
I'm trying to share my screen, sir.
Sir, he's logged in from a phone number, I think 867, right? This one's the number.
Okay. Just hold. Now, please do it now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today, I just want to talk about this small topic of how this mobile phone addiction and this cognitive impairment. As we know, after inducing the case or after giving a spinal and there is a sufficient spinal level has been achieved, every anesthesiologist is trying to grab a phone. So is it out of habit or is it a compulsion? So we'll just talk about how this mobile phone addiction is affecting our daily life. So mobile phones, as we know, have become an essential tool in our daily life, and this excessive use is causing a behavioral addiction, and it's associated with the attention deficit, memory issues, and even emotional dysregulation. So how can we define this mobile phone addiction? It's the compulsive and uncontrolled use of mobile device that is interfering with our daily life, and it similar to the other addictions and other behavioral addictions, like it causes the craving, loss of control, and even having a withdrawal symptoms when we are not using the mobile phone or when we are away from the mobile phone. And how is it the mobile phone is causing the addiction? It's through this instant gratification we get through likes, messages, or even notifications that may be from our closed ones, and this variable reward schedule, and even the fear of missing out, that and even social validation. All these things, it causing a circuit of dopamine reward pathway, which is activating the pleasure and reinforcement. So we have been noticing that there are multiple cognitive effects because of excessive mobile phone usage, and these are poor recall, reduced focus, and even impaired attention. So most of us will be using the reels, watching the reels, and these reels usually last for 15 to 30 seconds. So we are training our own brain to scan the information that will be available in 15 to 30 seconds. So as we are training our brain to scan the information as soon as possible, we are making it incompetent to do a deep focus search into a topic. So we are not able to sit for 30 minutes or even 40 minutes to study a topic or trying to understand the topic. So there are even psychological and behavioral effects like increased anxiety and using mobile phones mostly while prior to going to sleep. The excessive blue light exposure is causing a decreased melatonin production and even altering our sleep pattern. And there are mood disturbances and even social withdrawal as we spend more time watching the mobile phone. So there are even physical effects like eye strain, neck and back pain, sedentary lifestyle, and even the reduced physical activity. The more time we spend on the mobile phone, the less we are doing any physical activity. In this image, it shows that just one more scroll and one more reel before we are going to sleep. And each reel will give a new information, and it will make our brain to crave even more. So when does it end? Even there are even studies showing in MRI studies, they're showing reduced gray matter volume in prefrontal cortex, and even memory tests. The smartphone dependency is linked to poor recall, and even the professionals, their performance has been affected by excessive mobile phone usage. So when can we call this an addiction? There's a checking phone immediately after waking up, anxiety when the phone is not nearby, and they have even given a term nomophobia for it. And there's a loss of time awareness while scrolling. We can call it doom scrolling, and using phone to relieve all the negative emotions. So how can we prevent it? The excessive mobile phone addiction is to set a prior screen time limits, digital detox, engaging more in the offline hobbies, and trying not to engage in the mobile phone. And there is even a technique called Pomodoro technique, where you will do a 25 minutes of deep work followed by 5 minutes of non-mobile phone work, any activity other than a mobile phone. So this helps us to focus more and to be less dependent on the mobile phone, and even to follow a proper sleep hygiene, that is not to use mobile phone or any screen exposure 1 hour prior to going to sleep. This will be good for our sleep hygiene too. So early education on responsible technology usage and encouraging the digital literacy and workplace and institutional digital well-being policy should also be implemented to create an awareness on excessive mobile phone usage and even its effects, the dangerous effects. So I conclude my topic just by saying the more we are connected digitally to our phones, the less we are connected from our own minds. So control yourself by using simple techniques, and there will be more time for more useful things in our life. And I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. And
Stop sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Rajendra. Actually, it was a nice topic and you presented it well. Then we have Dr. Saranya Mukherjee, our first year postgraduate. She will be presenting on social responsibility and civic sense.
A very good evening, everybody. Could I just be confirmed if I'm audible?
Yes, please. You are audible and visible as well. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Can you just make it full screen, Dr.
Thank you, sir. So a very good evening, everybody.
Please make it full screen, ma'am.
I think it's in full screen now, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So once again, a very good evening to all my seniors, my teachers, and my colleagues, and warm greetings on the eve of World Anesthesia Day. So I think my talk will be the shortest and even the most serious one among all the slideshows and the presentations which I just heard. They were extremely jovial, but I think mine will be completely on the opposite side. So today, on the occasion of World Anesthesia Day, I would just like to quickly delve deep, just a 2-3 minutes talk about a topic which is completely unrelated to academics. It will mostly not have anything to do with academics, but a very integral part of our self and the well-being of the society, I must say. So let's quickly discuss about a burning issue in today's world, that is the problem of decreasing social responsibility and civic sense among the citizens of today. So, in the words of Jonas Salk, the father of the polio vaccine, he had said that the greatest reward in doing something good is the opportunity to do even more good work. So, the two pillars of a more responsible future can be civic sense, that is the everyday practice of good citizenship, and social responsibility, that is a micro commitment, that is the ethics and the conscience that we all have within ourselves. So, as they are the pillars on which the architecture of a responsible society is actually resting, any derangement in these two can lead to an unstable future. This is for humanity as well as for nature. So I would just like to explain that civic sense, it's just not about rules, or it's just not about following rules in the fear that we will be punished or some punishment will be imposed upon us, but it is a conscientious awareness that we should respect laws, we should respect the cleanliness, and we should be considerate about others. It is about being a responsible citizen in every small and tiny aspect of life on an everyday basis. Social responsibility, it is an unwritten social contract which in its own little ways actually make our society bloom. So it involves everything from considering the well-being of others and the well-being of the environment of the society. So I would just like to say that civic sense, it is not coming from education. Civic sense cannot come from wealth, but civic sense comes from one entity which is called empathy. So the fact we can just come down to is we are not facing a civic sense crisis. We are actually facing an empathy crisis. Um, a person with empathy will just not dump trash on the road because he knows that someone else will have to clean it up. A person with empathy will just not honk constantly in traffic because they will acknowledge the fact that a sick old man might be resting in the house or a hospital nearby. A person with empathy will not blast loud music till late into the night because he will not want to disturb the kids or some pets who are there in the locality. They will not just spit out straight from a moving bus because they will be considerate of the beauty and the cleanliness of the property. Simply, we as doctors, we should, if we are just disposing of a needle, uh, a bare needle, we should be considerate of the fact that there'll be someone who is actually cleaning it. These examples might seem very simple, but the same aspect of civic sense or social responsibility can shield us from bigger problems of the society, like corruption in politics, or money laundering, or unsafe conditions for women.
अच्छा अच्छे से बंद करो लेक्चर से बंद कर देना ठीक है काफी थोड़ी
So,
देरी
there might be another thing which we should always keep in mind. Along with empathy, there is another quality which is supposed to be one of the best, that is inclusivity. We should try to include everyone, starting from the nursing staff, the supporting staff as a family together. And that I would feel would result in a better outcome of the patient. This is a small picture trying to show two different sides of humanity. This is a picture of the doctors of Gaza. One side is how, without empathy, the world can become such a dark place. Whereas these doctors, without any concern for their own lives, were just going and helping out the people. So these are the importance which we already discussed, I feel, to promote peace, harmony, and safety, to encourage responsible citizenship, and to help create a more sustainable society. Uh, so I would just like to conclude my talk for today that self-awareness is of utmost importance, and we, in our own ways, in the smallest ways, we can make a difference. We can make the world a much better place to live in by very small everyday considerations. Without even us knowing that we are doing something good, we might be doing something good. um, so we should always act as if what we are doing is actually making a difference, because in reality it really is. So I would like to end my talk with this. It is completely different from our academics, but I feel it would just make a difference in somebody else's life. So that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. Act as if what you do makes a difference, because it really does. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Saranya and Dr. Rajendra, for bringing up those, hard-hitting topics and presenting us in such a, in, the actually it was like dart, you were presenting accurate points in just minimal amount of time, and absolutely wonderful. And kudos to the two of you for bringing up such important topic. And I'm very happy, and it gives me immense, proud to see that youngsters have all this knowledge and they're giving us and then talking about this. Congratulations, ma'am, as well. You've brought us good residents for the presentation. It was more insightful, thought-provoking. And also a reminder this, as we monitor patients on the screen, we should also monitor how much time we take on the phone,
Yeah.
monitor how much time we use on the phone. That's very important. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much.
giving us this opportunity to Guntur Medical College.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on, now we have another interesting topic for the evening, that's hobby and anesthesia. I would now like to invite Dr. Ankur Khandelwal, sir, a very skilled anesthesiologist and an absolutely talented human being who balances the precision of anesthesiology with creativity of hobby. Today, he'll share how passion outside the OT complements life within it. Over to you, Dr. Ankur, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha, and a very good evening to all the respected teachers and members of RSACP. A very happy World Anesthesia Day to everyone. It's the only one thing I always say I have never regretted in my life being an anesthesiologist, and have never said anything why I have taken this brand. This is so fascinating. So the topic, my topic is how do we nurture our hobbies while being a full-time anesthesiologist. So the key words are just hobbies and anesthesiologist. As we all know that day and night we come to hear about bad news, breaking bad news across the country, and literature is abundant. Some are reported, some are not reported, but then stress, burn, is very common amongst medical fraternity, and more so amongst anesthesiologists. This is the global data. I have just taken snapshots of few of them from the literature, and while coming to India, the literature is not sparse. Even literature is abundant, and lot of suicides secondary to depression, anxiety, stress, all those issues. And the burnout pathway starts right from the preparation to the MBBS days, and while handling MBBS period, post graduation, and thereafter. It's not even less when you are a faculty or you are a consultant working in a hospital. The stress continues and continues, maybe because of lack of sleep, lack of nutritious food, lack of handsome salary, positive interactions. So many issues contribute to stress, even family matters as well. So what is a hobby? Definition says that anything you do for your pleasure when you are not working actively for your profession is something which is known as hobby. But then what is a serious hobby? There is a definition known as serious hobby. Serious hobby is something when you try to do the same thing again and again in order to achieve mastery, and you tend to do it over multiple times a week. That is when you cultivate your habit and develop a habit over a mastery, right? So benefits of hobbies, most importantly, it develops mental health, right? It keeps you stable, it energizes you, relieves of the stress of the day-to-day activities, contributes to physical health. Most importantly, it contributes to cognitive skills, work performance improves, and obviously the psychological health and the overall atmosphere at home, at your workplace, everything tends to improve. Evidence wise, there is abundant evidence to suggest that if you develop hobbies, in fact more than one hobbies, the incidence of delirium and all those dementia, the Alzheimer's disease, they come down drastically, right? There is abundant literature to suggest, in fact, physical problems like cardiovascular disease and neurodegenerative diseases also tends to decrease when you cultivate hobbies and get pleasure from those hobbies. Enough data. And what I do for my hobbies, I spare good amount of time, especially on weekends. I make sure, as most of you must be watching my videos across social medias. I'm a big fan of social medias. I contribute a lot of videos, be on Instagram or be on Facebook. So I do dancing. I involve my wife, better half, in dancing. I involve my son in dancing. I love singing, contribute a lot of videos in singing. It gives me, it gives me a lot of mental satisfaction when I am away from work and totally engaged in singing and dancing. A lot of acting. I prefer acting as well. Many of videos, those can be seen on social medias. I love mimicry. I like to write quotes. Couple of quotes have been already published. Jogging, try to keep myself physically fit, i- which helps me to keep myself as mentally fit as well. So in summary, try to maintain a work-life balance. Age is just a number and profession is just an excuse. Profession is not just a part of life, it's not life. So try to enjoy your each and every day and make best use of your life with every single day. Cultivate good habits and develop mental and physical stability with your hobbies. Thanks so much.
Dr. Ankur, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you should start taking classes like, online teaching for dancing and teaching, and there will be so many of us and happy to join you and learn from you and take that stress off our heads.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Now moving on, now that sir has talked so much about hobby and dance and singing, we have I would now like to invite Dr. Jaya Lalwani ma'am to present her presentation on music therapy in anesthesia. So as we are moving towards the end of our presentation, a little bit of healing by using music. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Just a minute. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Please go ahead, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll make it slideshow. A very good evening to all. respected Tejkol sir, Naveen Malhotra sir, Anju ma'am, Indrani ma'am, Dr. Vishal, all seniors, wish you all a very happy World Anesthesia Day. Today I'll be talking about the role of music therapy in the perioperative care. Before I begin, you all are well aware that Raipur is hosting the annual national conference, ISACON 2025, from 26th to 30th November at Raipur. I take this opportunity to invite you all to come, register, and make this academic feast a grand success. The technique of music therapy is a well-known, non-pharmacological, inexpensive, and non-invasive method without any side effects to reduce the perioperative anxiety and pain. But the history goes back. It is as ancient as the Bible. Now, this story about Moses is a biblical story. When Moses was young, he was a shepherd. He used to graze the sheep. One day, as he was grazing his sheep, in the evening he counted and saw that one of the sheep was missing. He counted them again and again and again, only to find that one sheep was not there. He got worried and tried to find out the sheep. He found that the sheep was drinking water from a pond, and it was so busily drinking as if the sheep hadn't water for weeks together. He waited patiently for the sheep to finish drinking, but the sun set and the evening grew, but the sheep was still busily drinking water. So he went very close to the sheep, picked the sheep in his lamb, and moved to join the sheep back into the flock. Then he heard the voice of God, who told him that just as the sheep, his people are also hungry for freedom. So he made the Israelites free from the Pharaoh's army, and on their way back through the Red Sea, there was a triumphant hymn song which is known as the Mountains Melody. Aesculapius, the god of medicine. Of ancient Greek mythology, he was a physician who used to practice rejuvenation and the healing aspects of medical arts using music, flutes, lyres, and zithers to heal his patients. Early man's speech was also like the natural sounds and in the form of songs. This story is also very interesting. Apollo is the god of music and is also known as sun god in Greek mythology. His son Orpheus lost his wife, whom he loved very deeply. He became very sad on the death of his wife, and he thought that he would bring back life to his wife from the god of death, Hades. He went to the underworld because he had a beautiful voice and a mesmerizing one. So he sang songs and he reached the underworld, and he was successful in moving the heart of Hades, who promised to bring back life to his dead wife. But Hades put one condition, that till you move back to earth from the underworld, you would not look back, and slowly your wife will be reincarnated. So the same way as Orpheus had moved from earth to underworld, he moved back singing in his mesmerizing voice. But when a few steps were left for him to pass the underworld, his trust in Hades got shaky. He thought that might be Hades is playing a trick on him. So he looked back and saw his wife die a second time and lost his wife. This is a story of 16th century of Guru Haridas. He was the teacher of Tansen, one of the Navaratans of Darbar of Akbar. So he was a classical musician of the 16th century in India, and he is known to use music therapy in treating illnesses. The historical records say that he treated and recovered one of the queens of Emperor Akbar with his raga therapy. The therapy of music, The theory suggests that early man's speech was also like naturally occurring sounds, and it was sung. The children, when they learn to speak and they communicate, they also sing in a rhythmic and syllabic mode. And today we all know the impact of music in the perioperative period, reducing pain and anxiety, fostering calmness and comfort to the patients. The role of music therapy in labor analgesia need not to be stressed upon now. So beats come into play right from the pre-op till the recovery back home. A short video for you all to enjoy.
Ma'am, is there an audio to this video? Because we're not able to listen to the audio.
You're not able to see, or
I'm not able to listen. The voice is not there. I think.
Should I move back? Should have told me. Is it okay?
No, ma'am, I think if there... Ma'am, please reshare with audio on.
The audio is not there?
No, ma'am.
No.
When you reshare,
Yes,
there
ma'am,
is an
please.
option of sharing the audio.
Pardon?
Ma'am, please reshare. Stop sharing and share again.
Okay.
When you share again, at the bottom, there is an option for sound or something like that.
Just a minute.
You check that.
Is it visible now?
It is visible. Please play it, man.
Audible now?
No, ma'am.
Just a minute.
Madam, once you are sharing the screen, please click on the icon left side, share with sound. Then audio will come.
Okay.
Ma'am, when you select share, there's an option in the right hand side.
Yeah.
Share
Yeah.
Yes.
Just do.
आज का ये दिन कल बन जाएगा कल, पीछे मुड़ के ना देख प्यारे आगे चल, तू पीछे मुड़ के ना देख प्यारे आगे चल। आज का
सूरज हुआ मध्यम,
चांद जलने लगा आसमां ये हाय क्यों पिघलने लगा।
वो प्यार है शोखियों में घोला जाए फूलों का शबाब, उसमें फिर मिलाई जाए थोड़ी सी शराब, होगा यूं नशा जो तैयार, वो प्यार है।
मुझे दुनिया वालों शराबी न समझो, मैं पीता नहीं हूँ पिलाई गई है, जहाँ बेखुदी में कदम लड़खड़ाए।
Love you जिंदगी, love you जिंदगी, love you जिंदगी। यूं ही चला चल रही, यूं ही चला चल रही, कितनी हसीन है ये दुनिया। फूल सारे झमेले देख फूलों के मेले, बड़ी रंगीन है ये दुनिया। Dum dum da na na ra dum da na na dum dum da na na ra dum da na na dum dum da na na ra dum da na na bhaiya.
There's another video, a short video, the real life scenarios. It's the music therapy for calm down the patient.
When they gave me the guitar, things with music, you need to concentrate, you need to be alert, you need to be awake. So now I couldn't even concentrate because I'm in between the words and I'm sedated at the same time.
And this is my stress buster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the actual stress buster was the accordion that you played in the end. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the glitch.
No, ma'am.
The video.
Thank you so
Last video was lost. Last song was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, relaxing music therapy is absolutely the best, and we should actually incorporate it. We have our patients who keep requesting for their type of songs also. Please play this
Yeah.
one for me, please play.
So sometimes we do play in the OT.
Right, ma'am. My brother, he was getting a both bone leg operated way back in 2018. And when he came out of the OT, I asked him कि सबसे अच्छा तुझे क्या लगा? तो what he replied कि anesthetic best थे. उन्होंने मेरा favorite गाना चला दिया.
गाना चला दिया.
He was very happy and then like, Didi, you're so cool. So that is the experience that we have.
Sometimes I have an argument with the surgeons. तो मैडम ये पुराने गाने नहीं चलेंगे. मैंने कहा मुझे तो यही चलेंगे और मेरा पेशेंट भी इसमें खुश है.
Yes, ma'am. That was indeed wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
So moving on to the last session of the day. Thank you all for your patience. So we have Dr. Shraddha Bahulekar ma'am from Maharashtra. She's going to talk about preventing the burnout in anesthesia and you know how this is a more important and a very we must all hear from her what she has to say, what advices she has for all of us. Over to you, Shraddha ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. And now this is again another sort of a serious lecture which will make you think at the fag end of such a beautiful program where we have laughed and giggled. But yes, the ultimate solution for the burnout is this very therapy itself. But I don't know, maybe you all will end on a serious thinking mode. So just let me share the screen. Is my screen visible? Just a second.
On the slides, but yes, your screen is.
Yes, it's great. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible as well.
Perfect, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's discuss something about often not so discussed, but faced by almost each one of us at some point in time, the burnout. So let's see what the problem is, and we can come out, if we can come out with some possible solutions. So what is burnout? It is basically a syndrome resulting from chronic unmanaged workplace stress characterized by mainly three dimensions. First being emotional exhaustion, second being mental distancing from one's job, and lastly, a reduced sense of accomplishment. So, according to International Classification of Diseases ICD-11, it is not considered to be a medical condition but an occupational phenomena. But again, although it's an occupational phenomena, it could have serious medical relegations like leading towards depression or serious depression, etc. So basically, burnout is a reaction to the constant and chronic unmanaged stress, the stress which has been piling up over and over time and years onto us, and we have been just neglecting it in the initial part, and now it has been blown up and we are burning into it. So the magnitude again is high. Dr. Ankur had shown so many papers. I have just said one, but not delve into it because he has shown so many papers of Indian, European, and all other places where the burnout is real. They have shown, they have proved. So what makes us anesthesiologists more vulnerable? Because burnout is everywhere. It is at your home. It is at in every specialty of the healthcare sector. But why I think anesthesiologists are more vulnerable to it is because we have long, irregular, unpredictable, and erratic working hours. Most of us have this problem that we are deciding our working hours based on the surgeon's preferences. In many places yet, I think the surgeon's preference goes a long way in what time he wants to post the case, what time he wants to take, if he wants to delay it. There are very less institutes and places where it is adjusted according to us as yet. So we have long hours, erratic hours, sometimes unpredictable and irregular working hours. Constant vigilance is required because anesthesia as a specialty is a very branch which demands a lot of your attention for every beat, for every breath, and especially for longer surgeries, for high-risk surgeries, for pediatric surgeries, neurosurgeries, cardiac surgeries, and places like that where the patient is on a very tight balance. The vigilance is ever more constant in ICUs. We're dealing with critical patients. We are always on the go, and somewhere this stress also piles up at the end of the day over years. We are basically in a high responsibility but a low recognition branch, which again leads to burnout somewhere, I feel. Isolation at workplace, most of us are working alone in the OTs with not so much interaction with people around us. Happens more in private practice and freelancers where they're working alone in OT, moving from places to places, and they hardly interact with anybody during this time. They keep taking the stress of each and every case, and then it keeps piling up. These long erratic hours almost always leads to a poor work-life balance and the cutthroat competition. Again, seen somewhere a little more in the freelancers because the competition sometimes is so much that you don't attend a couple of cases and you lose that surgeon totally. He stops calling you for cases. If you are a woman, if you have gone into a maternity leave or a couple of times you have refused the cases because of your family problems and you realize that you're already been replaced. So that to stay in that rat race also makes an anesthesiologist burn out sometimes at least. So what are the consequences why we worried? Because then it takes a toll on us. It can cause errors and lack of focus at the workplace. When you're burned out, when you're stressed out, when you're mentally exhausted, you're liable to make errors at your workplace. There is a lack of focus. You get easily fatigued. The anesthesiologists are very, very liable for substance abuse, more so because all the drugs which you can possibly abuse are there, easily available in our armamentarium, and it is very easy for an anesthesiologist to fall to drug abuse if he's stressed, if he's worried, if he's burned out. Serious depression is seen, and we have also seen a lot of cases of as serious as suicide in young anesthesiologists, in PGs, even in younger generation anesthesiologists who are doing good, apparently doing good, but probably they had some kind of a stress, and we all know of stories like this where serious consequences have been seen of an burnout. So classically, that 12 stages of burnout, where it all begins, is the first stage, is the stage of excessive validation. What I mean by excessive validation is like we all have some passion. It has to be there, the ambition has to be there, but sometimes there's an excessive validation that I want to be seen, I want to be visible, I want to be the best anesthetist in the town, I want to be the most earning anesthetist in the town, or the most one in demand, or whatever. So you are obsessed with some validation or some appreciation all the time that you're seeking from others. This leads to the next stage of over hard work. You feel that the only way to reach that stage is hard work. Of course it is, but then you delve yourself in too much into that hard work that you tend to neglect self-care, and you reach the third stage where you, in the gist of doing hard work, don't pay attention to your family, to your health, to your own sleep, to your own requirements, to your own rest. Now, once you have started neglecting yourself, your health starts taking a toll, your mental health starts taking a toll, and you start blaming and getting frustrated and irritated for situations in your life, and you start blaming others for it. As in, there's nobody to help me, so I don't get time. There is this, किसी ने ऐसा किया, इसीलिए मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. So this kind of a frustration and blame game starts coming. The next stage is of sacrifice. You feel that to get to that position that you're desiring, the only way to do is sacrifice. So you often sacrifice the other things around you, again, like your health, your sleep, your family, your kids, only to focus on your work a little too much. Then again, it leads to conflict because you're sacrificing on the other aspects. There begins the conflict. You often lead to you're already stressed, you're overworked, you're exhausted. You tend to get into conflicts with your colleagues, your peers, probably at home, in your family. With constant conflicts comes withdrawal. At point you get withdrawn because you don't want the conflicts. A serious form of withdrawal is isolation. You isolate totally because then you start feeling that nobody probably understands you. You're trying to do something and everybody's against you, or feelings like that start creeping in and you get isolated, leading to depersonalization, because at one point you actually start doubting your self-worth because you're not getting what you're wanting. You're getting into conflicts with everybody around, you're overworked, you're stressed, and that leads to depersonalization, eventually leading to borderline depression, emptiness, and a full burnout. So these are basically the 12 described stages of burnout. We need to find out if at all we are lying in any of these stages, and we need to correct it then and there. The possible solution for this. So there is a 3-tier solution system for this. First is your system can do something for you. By system, I mean the institute where you work, or the association where you work, or if it's a group practice, your group, or whatever. So the system where you're working can find some solutions for this, for burnout among its employees, its anesthesiologist. Your team can do something for you, and you individually also are the most important and integral part that you can do something to reduce this burnout. So let's see what a system can do. But the problem with the system is these things are not in our control. What my institute will do for me to bring down the stress level in the anesthesiology department is not really in our hands. But what a system can actually do is allow flexible rotations where people can flex their duty timings according to their requirements. At times, they can adjust duties with their peers and colleagues. And if it stays flexible, it becomes less stressful. Planning duties where adequate rest breaks are allowed. A small break, everybody make sure that everybody is getting good lunch breaks, or a day off post-call or something like that. Adequate staffing is something that the institute or the system can take care of, which is often not taken care of. If people around me or listening might just agree. Consideration to women of childbearing age group because they have small kids at home. Sometimes the baby is breastfed, or she's carrying, or she has some problems with her child. The child is sick or something. We need to consider women of childbearing, especially of childbearing age, so that the stress levels and allow them to flex rotation so that the stress levels remain in check. Access to counseling should be available in the system. If at all, in spite of all the health, somebody is really feeling stressed about something, you should be able to access to a counselor or speak it out to someone. And motivation and recognition of hardworking employees at regular intervals or at correct times. A small motivation or appreciation goes a long way in reducing the stress or the exhaustion that the person is feeling. At team level, by team, I mean maybe you're a part of a department. So your colleagues, maybe you're part of a group practice. So your colleagues there, or maybe like at ISA level, you have a city branch, you all are a group of anesthesiologists. So something that a city branch can do for its members is also counted. Something that a state can do for its state members is also counted at team level. So we can offer peer supports. We should consider our friends or our colleagues in the town or in our institute or our department as our friends, not as a competition. And we can take support from them. Group practice in freelancing goes a long way in reducing your stress and burnout, and it helps in you attending the stressful and the difficult cases. Frequent team building activities where the anesthesiologists bond outside their theaters, outside and beyond their scrubs and caps and masks, where they can go for picnics or tours or meet up for dinners or have some academic meetings and have family get-togethers and kind of have a team building activities helps a long way in reducing the stress and increasing the bonding among the peers. Talking openly about stress and debriefing after tough cases. So even if you have done a challenging case or a tough case, it's always a good practice to discuss with your peers or discuss in your local WhatsApp group so that even others get to know out of and learn from what you have been doing. So these are some team building activities done by my city branch at Karad. So we have a freshers party, we celebrate Women's Day, we have academic meets, we celebrate birthdays, and small things like this go a long way, I think, in team building and creating rapport among your teachers and the PGs, your juniors and the seniors and all other people working around you. It goes a long way in reducing your stress and burnout. At individual level, it's absolutely in our control and we should work on all these things. First and foremost, set your priorities right. Understand what you need out of life at this point of time. What is your first priority and act accordingly. Take frequent breaks. By frequent breaks, I mean something as small as listening to a song whenever you're time or taking lunch on time when you're on duty or on a larger basis, you can a weekly off or a short weekend once in a while and a good vacation once or twice in a year. You cannot underestimate the importance of a good diet and a regular exercise in bringing down your stress levels and your burnout. Prioritize adequate sleep. I understand we are anesthesiologists and night duties are integral part of our schedules, but whenever we can, we should prioritize to get good sleep. So sometimes we are working the entire day and the night when the time comes to sleep, somebody binge watches the Netflix. But no, I feel we should prioritize our sleep to keep everything else in check. Yoga se hi hoga. So yoga and mindfulness is something we can practice. Cultivate your hobbies, like Dr. Ankur said. Even I love dancing. So whenever I get a chance to, I do that. So cultivate your hobbies and find time for them as and when you can. And whenever you get, you just let yourself loose in that. Plan vacations and trips at frequent intervals with your family, with your peers. If you have pets and you love them, you spend time with them after you're back home. It really, really helps you to get down your stress levels. And two pieces of or two rules I might say that, or two questions I might say that ask yourself is know when to stop. Because in the gist of getting passionate about something, in the gist of getting ambitions, I'm not at all saying it is bad. I have my own ambition. Everybody must have their own ambitions and passions. But in the gist of following the passion, sometimes we go too far ahead that we don't know where to stop. So prioritize your health, prioritize your family, you prioritize your me time, you prioritize your sleep. And along with that, keep following your passion. And I think it is really, really important for us to know in anything in life is where to stop. And remember that everybody at a job is important, but nobody is really indispensable. Sometimes हम इतना job देते हैं कि अगर हम नहीं रहेंगे तो institute बंद पड़ जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So it actually doesn't happen. Even if they tell you you are my best employee, the moment you can be just what you say, replaced in a day or two. So that is something that you should always remember. You should work hard, you should be sincere, you should be genuine, you should give your 100%. But these two things always have to be back in the mind, that I should know where I have starting, I should know what my passion is, but where I have to stop, at what point. By stop, I mean you can stop for a while and restart again. If you're not well, you did not push. If you have some family emergencies, you did not push. You just have to wait and start back. If you need to take a break and start back. And understand that nobody is indispensable. So, just one question that we need to ask at this point of time is that we are protecting our patients, we are keeping them safe is fine, but are we burning in the process? The answer should be no. And let's pledge that we all will move from burnout to balance. And we will not just survive in this field of anesthesiology, but we will also thrive. So with that, just remember that we all are born to shine and not to burn. So he's wishing all of you a very happy World Anesthesia Day and a very happy Diwali in advance. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was grounding, thoughtful, and yes, much needed. Sometimes we forget the difference between overachieving and then burning ourselves out in the process. Very well said, and we had a wonderful presentation. Good thought for the end of the session.
Thank you so much.
And we've all seen you dancing, and we'd love to have classes from you as well. Yes, ma'am. It's a
I
good
am
way of
ready.
self-master. Thank you so much, ma'am. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here with you all today.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, in conclusion, I would now like to invite our President, Sir, Dr. Naveen Malhotra, sir, for his words of conclusion. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. I must congratulate all the participants today. It was a very long session, and but each and every one was exceptional. So my congratulations to all the participants. And I know you must be going out for the local celebrations. So once again, wish you all a very happy World Anesthesia Day and very, very happy Deepavali. May the festival of lights bring colors, joy, and success to your life, to you and your family. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Long live RSA. Thank you very much.
Long live RSA. Long live RSA.
Good night and good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sir. Good night.
Right.